Hello to Lauren.
Hello, hello.
Happy Mini Masterclass Thursday.
Yes. Happy mini masterclass. Okay, just getting all my little like settings correct.
Yep, do it. Do it. Do it.
Okay. I have a dog in here, so I don't want him like popping up in the background. Probably saying
No
hello.
worries. No worries. Well, thank you for being our special guest today.
Of course.
We're actually bringing a part two, so to speak, to a class that we did last year, all around credit card, maximizing credit card rewards, right? And travel hacks.
Right.
And so if you haven't seen that, it's on our YouTube page. We can point you in that direction on the description of this one as well, because it's still very relevant information. But we're going to build on that and teach new things that have popped up and are available to our audience now since that time. But you're also our office manager, and I want to give you all the kudos. Doing
Thank you.
that's so good. Round of applause for Lauren. We get such great feedback from our customers for how you treat them and the way you work. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
And she loves when I put her on the spot like this, by the way. So inside, she's probably dying right
My
now.
favorite thing in the world.
Favorite thing in the world. But I guess we can just jump right in, and I want, you have your list you want to cover, and then if anyone has questions live, we're happy to answer them. If not, and you're rewatching this on whatever platform you find us on, feel free to DM us or put it in the comments, and we will come back and answer your questions. This is apropos timing because summer is coming. It's just now the beginning of May, but it takes time to earn some of these points and get some of this stuff going. So we wanted to give you enough time to get the education you need to hopefully travel for free this summer or fall. Lauren, take it away.
Yeah. Well, exactly what Sam said. Summer travel's coming. I started planning all of my summer travel recently. So that was why I was like, oh, we need like a round two of this and to do a little update on everything and the best new like tips and tricks. So I guess I'll just start with a little bit of like who I am and like what travel hacking is. I call it travel hacking. Let's just start off there. There's a million different names for it. There's like points and miles is probably the other biggest name that you'll hear, but travel hacking, points and miles, same thing. It's all just like strategically signing up for and using credit cards to earn points that you can book travel with. So that's travel hacking. And if
We
you want to
want
get,
to
go
we
ahead.
want to say responsible spending is like the top
Yes.
priority.
Oh yeah, that's on my list for sure.
What's on your list? Okay,
Yeah.
good. And we also want, as business owners, we have to spend money. And so this is a way we can maximize the money we have to spend, not go into debt for things that we don't need, but the money we have to spend to run our businesses and benefit to the maximum potential.
Yeah, exactly. So this is like amazing for business owners because if you are already planning on making a big purchase, you can take advantage of one of these like credit card sign up bonuses. So, for example, you might see like Chase is running an offer, which they are right now, and I want to talk about that later. So like you sign up for this Chase card and they're gonna give you like 70,000 points if you spend $3,000 in the first couple months. So if you're already planning on buying something for your business, depending on what industry you're in, it could be, like a piece of equipment or something for your office, who knows? Um, but if you're already planning on buying that, put it on this credit card, get your points, and then travel for free. So,
Business, I can just speak to our business. We pay the QuickBooks subscription for our customers at a very significant discount, and then we bill them because we're the ones that pass on the discount. That there is like $3,500 a month. So if you have something that is already an expense, you could just plop it on a card instead of your checking account and boom, instant one transaction, you have your miles. Or your
Yeah,
points.
exactly. And then if you want to even just keep using that credit card for that, you'll still continue earning points. And that's a huge chunk of money every month that you're earning like quite a bit of points from. So yeah, that's a great way to do it for sure. Um, so yeah, travel hacking, you're like signing up for a card, you're earning that bonus. Like Sam said, you're not spending any money that you weren't already planning on spending. Like we said before, if you want more of like the deeper dive on this, you go watch like the last video we did on this, but this isn't free money. Credit is not free money. Credit personally, for me, in my opinion, and the only way that I recommend doing this is it's only if you are paying off your balance every single month. You're never going into debt. You're never ever gaining interest because then why are we even doing this if you're getting hit with, 28% interest every month? Gross. But
Yeah,
like,
very gross. Very gross.
yeah. So this is for our responsible spenders and responsible credit card people out there.
For those who haven't tried it yet, but I
Yeah.
can commit to, I'm only going to try this if I feel like it's something I can manage because it's really easy. And I think we need to say this out loud. It's really easy to think of credit card money as free money, as
Yeah.
extra money, and to make decisions are like, well, I could use my credit card. I don't have the cash right now, but I could use the credit card. It's
Hmm.
so easy to start to make those choices. And we just want to just make sure you understand that it's not what we're advising here. We're advising same spend you already do or spend you can afford to pay back immediately.
Yeah, it definitely it can get so out of hand. I mean, I even still will get a little crazy sometimes, and then the end of the month I see how much I owe on my credit card. I'm like, okay, we need to like take it a little easier next month. Because when you don't see it coming out of your bank account every single day and you're
Right.
having to check a separate account, you can get a little crazy. So a recommendation for that, you can set up like weekly payments that just auto come out for, however much you want. Um, so then you
I
are
love
seeing
that idea.
something come out of your bank account every week and it's not as like crazy when you get to the end of the month and you're like, oh, okay, I shouldn't have spent that much this month. Now I have to pay all of that back.
Yeah, I actually do that. I will make a purchase on the credit card specifically to earn the points and then immediately turn around and make a payment to my credit card for the same exact amount from my checking account so that I'm maximizing that opportunity. Are you going to touch on debt to income ratios at all?
No, I wasn't planning on that, yeah,
Okay,
but
so I'll just throw that in there. You do want to also be careful when you're dealing with credit that you don't max out your credit lines at all times because then your debt to income ratio gets out of whack and that can lower your credit score instead of this being something that actually can help your credit score. It also lowers your borrowing power because if you're seen as maxed out all the time, even if you're paying it off, it looks like you don't have the capacity to because you're maxed out to keep paying it down. So just be careful of those things. But I love that idea about a weekly payment or just going in and paying it immediately off, but then getting those points for doing that spending. And when you're using a credit card, you're avoiding any kind of fraud that might hit your operating account, your actual cash flow. It's very easy to shut off a credit card if something happens, whereas it's not so easy to recoup it. It takes a longer time to recoup it from a checking account.
yeah, yeah, another thing for business owners, that's a great safeguard for sure. I mean,
Mhm.
personal too, but especially if you're like, I need this money to keep running my business. Yeah,
Right.
for sure. Yeah, so um yeah, I will say you touched on credit and everybody I think gets really scared when they hear how you have to do this. I've brought this up to a few friends. Like, you have to just keep signing up for credit cards and they're like, "Oh no, that's going to ruin my credit. What are you talking about?" Like, I've been doing this for I think like 3 years now it is. My credit is so much better than it was when I started. I bought a house last year. People that like their credit is tanked are not like buying houses because they signed up for credit cards and it
Especially in
tanks the
this
credit.
market.
Yeah, yeah, right. Um, so yeah, if you're doing this right, your credit will go up. Your credit will get better. It's not like you don't have to freak out and think, I'm gonna ruin my credit if I'm signing up for credit cards. You're not. And there is a very strategic way to do that. We're not gonna get into all that in, 30 minutes here, but I will talk about quite a few really great resources that I learned from at the end of everything, and I'll make sure that everything's linked in the description on our YouTube channel. So if you want to go and learn about this and take a deeper dive, you can do that too.
You can also book a call with us and Lauren
Yep.
will consult with you specifically around your scenario and your needs and the types of cards. Because I don't know if you'll touch on this, but there are different types of points, different types of cards, different end results, different ways to use the points that you're making. So
Yeah.
she can help you determine what is the best route to take.
Yeah, more than happy to, definitely. But all right, so if we want to jump into like the summer travel plans and like different cards you can sign up for right now to get maximum points, we can do that if that sounds good.
Do it.
Okay. So there's lots of different cards out there, tons of different credit cards that are offering sign up bonuses. I'm sure you get stuff in the mail all the time that's like sign up for this Citibank card, sign up for a Chase card, whatever it might be, and you'll get this many points. But they're not all created equally. So again, you want to make sure you're doing this strategically. You can look into the resources. You can reach out to me if you have questions about it. But I have three cards that I just want to recommend right off the bat. The first one is Chase Sapphire Preferred. I'm recommending that right now because they have an incredible sign-up bonus right now, which is 100,000 points if you meet the sign-up bonus within the first, I think it's 3 or 4 months. I mean, if you meet the spend, which I think believe is $3,000. So again, if you're
Not
planning
much for
on
a business owner.
yeah, no, exactly. If you're planning on spending $3,000 in the next couple of months, sign up for this card, put it on the card, you get 100,000 points. And Chase points are fantastic. Like I love Chase points. So one of the big things with like this whole travel hacking points and miles thing is your points are worth so much more when you transfer them. So if you have all these Chase points, but you're only in the Chase portal ever booking travel through Chase, you're not getting as much out of them. Chase has a ton of travel transfer partners. So you can transfer your points, your Chase points to like uh Southwest. Okay, I wasn't prepared for this, so now I can't name a bunch of them off the top of my head. This just came into my brain. I have a chart which I can link to of all the different transfer partners. But Chase has a ton of transfer partners, so they might have bonuses or some type of like promos going on where it's like if you transfer your Chase points to Southwest, maybe they're doing a 30% bonus and you're getting even more out of it at the end of the day. So Chase points, amazing. And that card I think is a $95 annual fee, but 100,000 points are worth so much more than a $95
$95.
and if you decide
Yeah.
down the line, you keep it for a year, you decide you don't want to pay that annual fee again, you're just not getting enough out of the card anymore, you can downgrade it. So instead of going in and
Yeah.
canceling where it's hitting your credit that you canceled a credit card, you can downgrade it to a card that doesn't have an annual fee. Um, so that's a really good way to do that. Uh, Another card that I really love is a Capital One Venture card. It's what what I started off with when I started this whole thing. And right now they have, I think 75,000 points if you meet the sign up bonus, or I keep saying sign up bonus, if you meet the minimum spend in that first couple
Yes.
months, which it's pretty standard on these cards, unless it's a business card or getting into something higher that it's going to be like $3,000-$4,000 in the first 3 or 4 months that you need to meet that. And again, $95 annual fee, but Capital One gives you a $250 travel credit. So right there, you've already wiped out your annual fee. That's
Yeah.
you already got that covered. Um, and then I think that's all for the Venture card. But if you go up to the Venture X, which has a higher annual fee of $395, it has the same sign-up bonus of 75,000 points, but you get a $300 travel credit annually. So then that brings your annual fee down to only $95 a year. And you get a 10,000 point bonus on your anniversary of having the card every single year. And you
Oh,
get $120 towards TSA PreCheck or global entry. So if you apply and pay for that on your card, they're paying you back for it. And you have lounge access, which is like one of my new favorite things and I never knew I needed
yes.
in my life until now.
I'm always the girl in the airport going, oh, like, that looks nice. I'll keep walking.
Yeah. Yeah, I will never pay for a lounge. That's like I'll go sit with
No,
everybody else. That's okay. But if I'm getting in for free, like I'm gonna be in there drinking my cocktails, feeling a little bit better than
that's right.
everybody.
That's right. And I know that you love these points because you've actually asked me in the past, can I put this on my card and then you can reimburse me because you want the points, like for
Yeah.
reimbursements if she goes to the post office or if she does something or if we're at a conference and she wants to spend her money so she can get her points instead
Uh,
of me and then I can just pay her back instead of paying out of pocket. So she works the system, man.
yeah, it probably gets annoying. I'm always the person that's like, I'll pay for dinner. I got a sign up bonus I'm trying to meet. Every you guys
To
just
me, yeah.
Venmo me back.
Just
Like,
Venmo me. I love it. Oh, I love it. And then because you do that, how much have you traveled for free or really discounted?
a lot. A
A
lot.
lot. Yes.
So, yeah, I wanted to touch on some of these things. So, we took a really big trip a few years ago to the Caribbean for my 30th birthday. We were gone for like 2 whole weeks. We stayed in the all-inclusive resort, had the best time of our lives, which was not a thing that, like, and I say we, it's my fiance and I, it's not a thing that we've ever done with,
Notice how it wasn't me. Notice how it wasn't
it
me.
wasn't me and Sam, not yet at least.
No.
Yeah, that was not something we were ever doing in our lives before all of this. And so we paid for like half of that trip on points. We went to Hawaii last summer. I was able to take my mom on a trip and just to, where did we go? We went to Arkansas to see family. Um, but again, that was a thing that like I wouldn't be doing. I wouldn't just be thinking, oh, like let's just go see like my cousin that I haven't seen in years just because we can and just because like I have these points and I can take my mom to go do this.
And that's so special that you got to do
Yeah.
that. And for her that you and her got to do that together is great. And you built that memory just by doing the spending you already do.
Yeah, it was great. And that was our first lounge experience on that trip. So that was like
Oh,
so
fancy.
fun. I made sure we had to stop in Denver anyways, but I switched it to a longer layover so we could go like hang out in the lounge and get that little experience and
Did you put your pinky up when you drank
oh
your drink?
yes, my little fanciness. But like it feels so, so good to share this with other people. Like that's
Yes.
my favorite part of this. Like I never would have been doing stuff like that with my mom before because if we're both paying out of pocket, that's a little out of our price range probably.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and so many business owners have to travel for work. I'm
Yes.
one of them. I have to travel for work. So if you're doing activities that are just making that easier for you or cutting your costs in having to go do those things, you're just increasing your bottom line, your profit margin. You're enabling yourself to budget for things that you might not have been able to do before if you had to spend the money out of pocket. You could maybe, take an employee to a conference that you couldn't have afforded before because now you can cover their hotel and their airfare and just have to pay for their meals, which if you use the card, you're earning points back for. So these
Hmm.
are all things that like at the end of the day, you're actually doing yourself so many favors and then traveling for free. And so, she's mentioning vacations, but this could just even help you in your business. What if there's an amazing continuing education opportunity that you have to fly to and go to, and it would really help you get an ROI in your business? You can't afford to send somebody, or it's not quite in the budget. You can now use your points and still get that information, get that ROI, but not actually spend the money.
Yeah, definitely. And something I want to touch on that you brought up. So you said like if you're taking an employee somewhere. Um, okay. My absolute favorite thing out of this entire travel hacking thing that I've ever gotten is a Southwest companion pass. I don't even know if I think I've told you about it. No? Okay.
Told me
Maybe.
about it, yes, but we haven't
Okay.
talked about it here. Mhm.
So the Southwest companion pass is like it's like having a gold card in the travel world, at least like in my opinion. So if you earn this, you can fly with someone else, your companion, for free every single time you fly while you have the companion pass. So so I have the companion pass. I got it not last January, no, last January. So January of 2024. And you have it for the entire year that you earn it in. So I earned it in January of 2024. I had it for all last year and the entire following year. So 2 full years of me and my fiance traveling for free anytime we're flying Southwest because I'm booking mine with points and then he's my companion, so he gets a free flight. I pay the $5 in taxes and fees that I have to pay for that.
Bummer
And
deal for
that's that.
you.
It's
Wow.
incredible.
And do you have to pick one particular person to be the companion, or can you use it on anybody that happens to be that companion that time?
That's a great question. So you can switch it, but you can only switch it 3 times per year. So last year, like I mentioned, I took my mom on that trip. I switched it from my fiance to my mom. So then I was able to bring her along on that trip as my companion for free. And then the next trip I did with my fiance, I switched it back to him. So you have 3 times within a year that you can switch it. So if you're a business owner and you're taking somebody in your office on a trip and you don't really want to pay for their flight, which why would you if you don't have to, make them your
You don't
companion
have to, right?
and you can travel with them for free. You can bring them along 100% for free.
What if you don't have enough points to pay for your ticket? You can still buy your ticket and take them for free?
Yes, exactly. So you can points or cash, it doesn't matter how you're booking your flight. You still just add your companion after the fact. You pay, like I said, the $5 to $10 it is in taxes and fees because that's the one thing that you cannot get away from paying, but much cheaper than
But
an actual
deal.
flight.
I'll take a
Um,
$5 airfare any day.
right, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, it doesn't matter
And
if
then
you're
you said you have to earn it. So how do you earn the value pass?
okay, so I'm not going to go too into the weeds with this because it is like very specific and there's a very specific way that you want to do this. And I will recommend there's a course that I took called it's from a business called 10x Travel. And again, I'll link all of that at the end or in the comments. And they have a whole guide to this that gets like really deep because there's really specific, like a really specific timeline that you're going to want to sign up for everything to maximize it. Um, but just the overview of it. So to earn a companion pass, Southwest has a couple ways to do it. You can do 100 qualifying flights in a calendar year, which is a lot, like who's flying literally like 2 times a week, in a
Right.
year. It's crazy. I don't know who is earning it that way. Or you earn, I believe it's 135,000 points that you have to get. And you can do that by signing up for 2 Southwest credit cards. So you have to do that strategically. For me, I did it by signing up for a personal card, meeting that sign up bonus. So I earned all of those points. And then I signed up for a business card because I have a business,
You do.
which you can get into the weeds of what that means as well for signing up for business cards. And again, 10x Travel is a really great resource for all of the details of that. But I do like dog walking, dog sitting. I have a little like side hustle of that. So that's my business. And I signed up for a business card with that.
I'm glad you clarified because this makes it look like it's suspicious.
well, I did that
I
for
have
my
a
business. That
business.
wasn't for me. It is a business for myself. But some people, they'll the term business does get a little bit
Yeah.
interesting, a little bit hairy what they're calling a business, but that's not for me to say what is and what isn't,
We should probably do a whole class on what is not a business.
right?
It's not a business.
That's definitely true. So yeah, I signed up for those two cards. I earned the points, and then as soon as I earned, like I said, I think it's 135,000. So as soon as I hit that mark, you get a little thing in your Southwest profile that says, "Congrats, you've earned your companion pass, and you get to travel with someone for free for 2 whole years." It's like it's
But
so
that's specifically because you earned it in January. So the advice would be try to earn it by January.
yeah,
Because if you earn it
exactly.
in December, you only get 30 days plus a year. Which,
Exactly. And that's why I was saying like the timeline of that is kind of specific. And I will say Southwest has gone a little bit crazy in the last like 6 months or so, and they've changed up so much of what people really loved
loved
about
about them.
Southwest, like the
Yeah.
no longer having free baggage and no longer having like an open seating policy, and even their like cancellation policies have changed around certain things. Um, so I will say I'm kind of scared that the companion pass might be the next thing to go or be like severely cut or the program be severely changed. I think people might literally riot in the streets if Southwest did that because the people that like know about it and have been getting this companion pass for years and years
Right.
might literally lose their minds if Southwest changes that. But that is something to consider, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're in May now, but if you wanted to sign up for it now, I would say it's better to get it for a year and a half than for no time
Then
at all.
nothing.
But
Yeah.
if nothing is changing, then yes, like the strategic timeline to do it in would be you sign up in like November-ish, December, and then you make sure that you don't hit your spending mark until January. Because if
Correct.
you accidentally hit it on December 30th,
You're
then
close.
that's
Yes.
your calendar year that you earned it in, and you get one whole
Oh,
day of having the companion.
oh God.
You don't
That
want
would
that.
be a total bummer.
People have done it. I'm part of the this big Facebook group and just tears and sadness.
Yes, it's like what a wasted opportunity, right? Yes,
Uh,
I'm glad that you're saying all this because those are the things you don't know
yes,
until
yeah,
it happens on December 30th and you think you're so stoked about it and then you're like,
yeah,
oh my God, I just
yeah,
totally screwed that up.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it is probably something I would do. I think I missed out on like 30,000 Delta points at one point because I didn't understand the assignment enough.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I've done it too.
we say that all the time with accounting and QuickBooks and everything. You don't know what you don't know. And like
Mhm.
there is a pretty like decent learning curve with all of this, but if you're willing to, put in the time and do your research or work with somebody that will help you learn everything, yeah, you can really get a lot out of this. Like I knew nothing. I just saw, some Instagram influencers that were talking about travel hacking and points and miles
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, what is this? It's kind of interesting. And then went on my little like ADHD squirrel brain deep dive of it and spent so many hours learning about all of this. But yeah, I
Yeah.
had no idea what it actually was. It seems like a scam, honestly. The things that I saw
Mhm.
about it, I was like, there's no way that's real. Like, there's no way people are flying first class and paying like $100 in taxes and fees and that's it. Like that's a scam. Like 100% that's a scam,
Right.
but it's kind of crazy that it's not.
I just talked recently to a colleague of ours, Sean Duncan, and he was telling me that he took his wife, his two kids, and himself to Paris, France, and they stayed at a very nice hotel for 6 days or 7 days, I want to say, $0. They did all on points.
Yep.
And their flights ended up only costing them for four people like $1,000, and they were $2,500 each flights
Yep.
prior to him using, and he's very big on Marriott
Oh
or
yeah.
Hilton reward cards. Like he says, his thing is pick a brand and stick with it and use it every time, every chance
Yeah.
you get, because they'll give you double and triple rewards when you do stay, plus the spending rewards, plus the bonuses. It's not the stacking and the hacking that you're talking about, but it's another thing you can do is kind of pick a brand that you love
Yeah.
and just maximize those potentials. But yeah, he took his whole family on vacation to Paris and it cost him next to nothing, like $1,000 total to get there and stay there for 4 people for 7 days. And then he just had to pay for food, which of
Right.
course he put on his card and made points.
Yeah, earned even more
So
points. Yeah.
right. I mean, I have paid $500 to fly, a couple states over, and he paid $1,000 to take 4 people to freaking France, like
Yeah.
Paris.
It's
Like
crazy how
craziness.
big you can go with it. Like I love hearing stories like that. There's like I
Yeah,
said, Facebook group that I'm part of. People are posting their crazy trips. I mean, like
yeah,
Maldives and like Bora
yes.
Bora, just like these dream vacations that people post the cash value versus the points, and it's
Mhm.
sometimes like $50,000,
Yep,
$75,000 they would have spent because they're flying first class. They're
yep,
staying in the like most luxury hotel overwater villa you've ever seen in your
right,
life. And they would have paid tens of thousands of dollars for it. And instead it's maybe $1,000, like you said.
right.
Like,
And then, when people look at you and they see these, they're like, oh, must be nice. Oh, they're rich. But I mean, you could be struggling and still be on vacation because you have these points.
yeah.
Especially going back to the business owner thing, we have to spend money every day in our businesses. It's
Mhm.
not an option for us to like not have the software, not have the employees, not have, the cost of goods sold for our product or service. So you can maximize the potential of that so great with doing this travel hack. So if you would like to talk to Lauren about how you can specifically maximize your potential for your business and what you do, her email is officemanager@pbsaccountingandtax.com. We'll put all this in the description. Our number is 866-472-7669. Are you extension 2? I can't even
Yes,
remember.
I
I never
am.
call you. I never call you. She's extension 2. You can also text that number and just say, hey, this is for Lauren. And then, of course, wherever you're finding us, just DM us, post a comment. All the things work, but we really appreciate you, Lauren, coming on and sharing your expertise. I want to know if you sign up for any of these and then you take a free trip. I want to know about it. Let me
Yeah.
know. Yes, I want to know about it. We'll do a little story of like all the people we helped take free
Oh
trips
yeah, I
or
would
free
love that.
trips.
That would be so
Yeah,
fun. Yeah,
that
so
really would be fun.
I'll link all of the resources that we talked about in the description. And then if you are interested in signing up for one of these cards, I'll also put the links to those. So you don't have to go searching for Chase Sapphire Preferred to get your 100,000 points. It'll just be right there.
Love that. Make it as easy as possible. Thanks everyone for joining live or on the replay. We will see you again in 2 weeks for Mini Masterclass Thursday.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.